Imagine your life as a magnificent house being built around you moment by moment, brick by brick, beam by beam. Your subconscious mind is the tireless, faithful construction crew that never sleeps, never questions, and never rests until the plans you hand it are made manifest in form. Every single day, from the moment you open your eyes, you are delivering blueprints to this crew through the quiet thoughts you entertain, the words you speak aloud, and the feelings you allow to settle in your heart. For years, perhaps lifetimes, many of us have wandered through crooked hallways, felt the chill of unseen drafts, and wondered why this house never truly felt like home. The walls lean at odd angles. The foundation seems unsteady. We blame the weather, the neighbors, the economy, or fate itself, never suspecting that the true architect has always been us, and the blueprints have been smudged with inherited fears, old family stories of lack, and the well-meaning but limiting cautions passed down through generations. Then comes the sacred awakening. One day you pause in the middle of your ordinary life and look down at the plans you have been handing over each morning. You see the fearful notes scribbled in the margins. Not enough. It's too late. I always struggle. Good things happen to other people. You see measurements taken from the yardstick of limitation rather than the infinite compass of divine supply. In that moment of clarity, everything changes. You realize these are not the master architect's perfect design for your soul. They are merely old, inherited scribbles of doubt. And because you are the true architect, you have the divine right and the creative power to hand your crew an entirely new set of plans. This is not mere poetic sentiment. It is spiritual law, as immutable as the law of gravity, yet far more merciful and responsive to the one who learns to work with it consciously. Florence Scovel Shinn taught us that the spoken word is the most powerful tool given to man, for death and life are in the power of the tongue. Your words are not empty sounds, vanishing into the air. They are living seeds planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind, which then grows them into the conditions, events, people, and opportunities that surround you. The subconscious does not judge whether your words are true or false, helpful or harmful. It has no sense of humor, no moral opinion, and no ability to argue. It simply takes every impression as a direct command and begins building with absolute obedience. Think of the great spiritual masters. When Jesus spoke, he did not plead or beg. He declared with perfect conviction, "Lazarus, come forth." He did not hope the stone would roll away. He knew the power of the spoken word aligned with divine truth. Shinn reminded her students again and again that we are to speak our word and then act as though it is already done, for in the mind of the divine, it is already complete. Your life, right now, is the outpicturing of the conversations you have been having with yourself and with the universe. Change the conversation, and you change the house. Most people are unconsciously handing their builders the same fearful blueprints day after day, and then wondering why the same unwanted experiences keep repeating. They complain about money, criticize their bodies, worry aloud about the future, and rehearse old grievances. Each complaint is a precise instruction. Each worry is a detailed measurement. The subconscious crew listens intently and builds accordingly, bringing more reasons to complain, more evidence for worry, and more situations that match the low vibration of fear. Like attracts like. This is not punishment. It is simply resonance. Your words carry a specific frequency, and the universe, being vibrational in nature, must match that frequency with corresponding experiences. But you are not bound to the old plans. You are the architect. You have always been the architect. The moment you decide to draw up new blueprints with spiritual precision, your entire reality begins to reorganize itself. The old walls may not dissolve overnight, but they have already begun to loosen. New materials are being ordered from the infinite storehouse. Fresh foundations are being poured in the invisible realm. All that is required is your consistent, loving participation. The subconscious mind is like a perfectly obedient servant who has been waiting for clear direction. For too long, we have given it contradictory orders, I want abundance followed immediately by, but I never have enough. I am healthy, followed by a long list of symptoms and complaints. The crew becomes confused, and the house remains half-built, patched together with makeshift repairs. When you speak with clarity and conviction, however, the crew rejoices. It knows exactly what to do. It mobilizes every resource, every connection, every idea necessary to bring your new word into visible form. To understand the depth of this power, we must go deeper into the nature of the subconscious. It is not a separate entity fighting against you. It is the feminine, receptive aspect of your own mind, the great womb of creation that receives the seed of your word and nurtures it into manifestation. It operates best when given clear, positive, present tense instructions. It loves repetition because repetition is how it learns new habits. It responds to feeling more than to mere intellectual agreement. When you speak your new blueprint with genuine emotion, even if the outer picture has not yet changed, you are speeding up the construction process dramatically. Consider how many times you have spoken words of limitation without realizing their creative power. I can't afford that. This always happens to me. I'm too old for new beginnings. Each statement is a blueprint. The crew hears it and faithfully constructs matching circumstances. Now imagine reversing this current. What if every hour you paused and deliberately handed over a new, radiant design? What if your words became a steady stream of divine truth rather than echoes of past conditioning? This is the practice that will transform your life. It is ancient, yet it feels brand new to the modern mind that has forgotten its creative birthright. Shinn taught that we must impress the subconscious with the picture of our highest good until it accepts it as true. She told story after story of students who spoke their word for perfect health, for divine supply, for harmonious relationships, and watched miracles unfold in ways they could never have planned. One woman spoke the word for her perfect home, and within weeks was led to a beautiful property she had not even known existed. Another declared divine love and watched a seemingly impossible relationship heal. These were not coincidences. They were the natural outworking of aligned spiritual law. You, too, are ready to step into this mastery. The house you have been living in does not have to remain crooked. The drafts can be sealed. The foundation can be strengthened. A new, light-filled home is waiting to be built, one that reflects the truth of who you really are, a divine being, a beloved child of infinite intelligence, an heir to all good things. The only thing standing between you and this new house is the blueprint you choose to hand your crew today and tomorrow and every hour after that. As you begin this journey, remember that your words are sacred. They are the ink with which you draw the lines of your destiny. Speak them with reverence. Speak them with joy. Speak them as though the divine itself is listening, because it is. The construction crew is already standing at attention, tools in hand, eager to begin building the beautiful, abundant, harmonious life that has always been your divine design. The old scribbles of doubt can be set aside now. A new day has dawned, and with it comes the opportunity to become the conscious, loving architect you were always meant to be. Continuing from that realization, we begin to see that every moment is a fresh opportunity to redraw the plans. The past has no power over the present unless we keep feeding it life through our words and memories. Florence Scovel Shinn emphasized this again and again in her teachings. The only thing that matters is the word you are speaking now. The subconscious mind does not dwell in yesterday's failures or tomorrow's fears. It responds only to the impressions you give it in the eternal now. This is why the practice of the hourly declaration is so potent. It keeps you anchored in the living present where all creation happens. Let us go further into the sacred mechanics of this law. Your spoken word is a spiritual seed. When planted with faith in the rich soil of the subconscious, it must grow according to its kind. Shinn often likened this to the biblical principle, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But she took it even deeper by teaching that the spoken word is the bridge between the inner thought and the outer manifestation. Thoughts alone can be fleeting, but when you speak them aloud with conviction, You are sending a clear, unmistakable command into the creative substance of the universe. That substance, which she called divine mind or substance, is ever responsive, ever obedient, and infinitely abundant. Consider the story of the woman who came to Shin distressed about her finances. Bills were piling up, opportunities seemed closed, and fear had taken residence in her home. Shin instructed her to stop speaking of lack and instead declare, "I am one with infinite supply. All that I require is now given to me." The woman began this practice faithfully. At first, nothing visible changed. The old bills still arrived. The bank balance still looked discouraging. But she persisted, knowing that in the invisible realm, her new word was already at work. Within weeks, an unexpected inheritance from a distant relative arrived exactly when needed. A new position opened that she had not applied for. Doors that had been sealed for years swung open. This was not luck. It was the law in action. Her new blueprint had been accepted by the construction crew, and the house of her finances was being rebuilt on a foundation of divine supply. You may be thinking, but my situation is different. The walls of my life are too crooked, the damage too deep. This is the voice of the old blueprint speaking. The master architect does not see damage, only the perfect pattern waiting to be expressed. Shin taught that there is no condition so hopeless that it cannot be changed by the power of the spoken word aligned with faith. The subconscious crew is always ready to tear down old structures when given the new plans. It does not mourn the old walls. It simply follows the latest instructions with perfect diligence. The key lies in understanding the 5 essential ingredients of a master declaration, as we touched upon earlier. But now let us explore them more fully so that you may wield them with mastery. First, identity. Who are you? Not who the world says you are, not who your past mistakes claim you are, but who you are in the eyes of the divine. When you declare "I am" statements rooted in spiritual truth, you are claiming your divine inheritance. I am a child of infinite intelligence. I am the radiant expression of divine love. I am worthy of all good. These are not arrogant claims. They are the humble acknowledgement of your true nature. Shin often reminded her students that Jesus declared, "I and the Father are one," and in that identity, miracles flowed naturally. When you claim your identity in harmony with the divine, the construction crew begins building a house that reflects that royal consciousness. Second, present tense. The subconscious lives only in the now. It cannot build in the future. Phrases like, "I will have," or "someday I shall," keep the good at a distance. Instead, speak as though it is already done. All good things flow to me now. I am now surrounded by divine abundance. Harmony is established in my life this day. This present tense language collapses time and brings the desired condition into the immediate moment of creation. The crew does not wait. It begins working instantly. Third, alignment and non-resistance. Shin was a master of teaching non-resistance. She taught that struggle only strengthens the very condition you wish to overcome. Instead of fighting lack, declare harmony with infinite supply. Instead of resisting difficult people, affirm divine love expressing through every relationship. Words like, "in perfect harmony," "in divine order," and "under grace" remove friction from the creative process. They signal to the universe that you are cooperating with the natural flow of good rather than standing in opposition to it. The construction crew works most efficiently when there is no internal conflict in the plans. Fourth, comprehensiveness. Do not fragment your attention with dozens of separate wishes. A single, all-encompassing declaration can cover every department of your life. When you speak of infinite abundance and all good things, you are including financial freedom, vibrant health, loving relationships, meaningful work, creative expression, and spiritual peace. This creates a unified vibration that is far more powerful than scattered requests. The crew receives one clear, coherent blueprint instead of conflicting memos. Fifth, and perhaps most beautiful, the spirit of grace and surrender. Under grace, in miraculous ways. These words are the golden key. Grace means that the good comes to you easily, without strain or human planning. Miraculous ways acknowledge that divine intelligence knows channels and avenues far beyond your limited vision. Shinn told many stories of students who released their personal plans and allowed the divine to work. One man, seeking the perfect position, stopped forcing doors and simply declared his good under grace. Within days, he was offered an opportunity that exceeded anything he had imagined. The surrender to grace removes the burden from your shoulders and places it in the hands of the infinite, where it belongs. Now, let us make this practical. Set a gentle reminder on your phone for each hour of your waking day. When the chime sounds, pause wherever you are. Take a deep, centering breath. Feel your feet on the ground, your heart beating in rhythm with the universe. Then, with quiet conviction and feeling, speak this master declaration aloud. I am in perfect harmony with infinite abundance, and all good things flow to me now under grace in miraculous ways. Speak it not as a wish, but as a statement of fact. Feel the truth of it vibrating through your being. Even if the outer world has not yet caught up, speak it as the architect who sees the completed mansion in the blueprint stage. This hourly practice is your sacred conversation with the divine. It interrupts the old patterns of worry and complaint. It reprograms the subconscious crew with new, life-giving instructions. Over time, it becomes the dominant tone of your inner life. You may notice resistance at first. Old thoughts may arise. This isn't working. Or, my situation is too far gone. This is natural. It is simply the old blueprint trying to reassert itself. Do not fight it. Do not argue with it. Simply return gently to your declaration. Shinn taught that persistence is the secret. The student who continues even when results are invisible is the one who eventually sees the most dramatic transformation. Each repetition is depositing spiritual substance into your account. The balance is accumulating, and one day the manifestation will appear suddenly, as if overnight, though it was being prepared all along. Let us expand this practice with supporting declarations that reinforce the main blueprint. Throughout your day, you may also speak, "Every hour brings perfect opportunities aligned with my highest good. Divine intelligence works perfectly through me, and my every word creates my ideal reality. I am a divine idea in the mind of God, and I now manifest the perfect blueprint of my life." These are not separate efforts, but harmonious threads woven into the same magnificent design. They keep your consciousness elevated and your crew focused on the highest pattern. As you continue this work, you will begin to notice subtle shifts. A new sense of peace will settle over you. Opportunities will appear where none were visible before. Relationships will harmonize in unexpected ways. Your body may respond with greater vitality. Money will come through channels you did not plan. These are the first signs that the new house is taking shape. The crooked walls are straightening. The drafts are disappearing. Light is pouring in through windows you did not know existed. Remember, the external world is always a mirror of your inner conversation. Change the words you speak habitually, and you change the reflection. You were never meant to live in a house of limitation. Your true home is one of beauty, abundance, joy, and perfect self-expression. The master architect holds the perfect design for you, and through your conscious words, you are now calling it forth into visible form. The construction crew is listening. The universe is responding. All that remains is your faithful, loving commitment to the new blueprint. As this new blueprint begins to take hold in your consciousness, you will inevitably encounter the invisible stages of manifestation. This is where true faith is forged. Florence Scovel Shinn often spoke of the period of silence, or the time between the sowing of the word and the reaping in the outer world. During this sacred interval, nothing may seem to change on the surface. The old house may still creak in the wind, bills may still arrive, the body may still show signs of wear. Yet in the invisible realm, mighty forces are at work. Your construction crew has received the new plans and is quietly demolishing outdated structures, ordering new materials from the storehouse of divine substance, and laying foundations deeper than you can presently see. This is not a time for doubt. It is a time for deeper trust. Shin taught that the student must stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Do not go back and inspect the work with anxious eyes. Do not withdraw your new blueprint because the outer picture has not yet shifted. To do so is like handing the crew a new set of plans every few hours, confusing, contradictory, and delaying the finished product. Instead, speak your declaration with even greater conviction during these quiet phases. Each repetition strengthens the impression upon the subconscious. Each faithful utterance adds spiritual substance to the invisible structure that is rising all around you. Let us now apply this principle more intimately to the major areas of human experience, for the Master Declaration is comprehensive. Yet we can illuminate its power by shining light on specific rooms within the house of your life. Begin with the financial realm. So often a source of constriction and fear, many people have inherited blueprints filled with notes of scarcity. There is never enough, money is hard to come by, rich people are greedy. These old scribbles have kept countless souls living in small, cramped financial quarters. When you declare, "I am in perfect harmony with infinite abundance," you are erasing those old lines and drawing new ones with the golden ink of divine supply. Infinite abundance does not mean a little more money. It means recognizing that the universe is a limitless reservoir. Shin shared the story of a woman who was facing eviction and had no visible means of support. She was instructed to affirm, "God is my supply. I have faith in the invisible supply. All financial doors are open." Within a short time, unexpected money arrived from multiple sources and a better living situation opened. The crew had been waiting for clear instructions. Speak your word for finances without outlining how it must come. Do not insist it arrive through a raise, a specific client, or a lottery ticket. That is human planning, which is always limited. Instead, surrender to, under grace in miraculous ways, and allow divine intelligence to choose the perfect channels. You may suddenly receive a refund you forgot about, an offer for work that feels joyful rather than burdensome, or an idea for a creative venture that flows with ease. The new financial rooms in your house are being furnished with beauty and security, not through strain, but through alignment. Now, turn your attention to the body and health. The subconscious crew builds your physical temple according to the words you speak about it. Complaints such as, "I'm always tired," "My body is breaking down," or "This condition runs in my family," are precise blueprints for continued limitation. Replace them with the truth of your divine identity. "I am in perfect harmony with infinite abundance," includes the abundance of vibrant life force, perfect circulation, radiant vitality, and harmonious function in every organ and cell. Shin healed many conditions by having students declare wholeness and refuse to give power to symptoms through speech. One man with a long-standing illness began affirming, "I am the perfect expression of divine life. Every cell is filled with light and harmony." His condition reversed dramatically as the crew rebuilt his body according to the new, perfect pattern. Speak to your body with love. Thank it for its service. Declare its strength, flexibility, and radiant health now. Feel the energy of infinite abundance flowing through you as you utter the words. The body is a faithful servant that responds quickly to consistent positive impressions. You are not fighting disease. You are aligning with the natural state of divine wholeness that has always been your birthright. In the realm of relationships, the power of the spoken word is equally transformative. How many homes are filled with drafts of discord because of habitual criticism, resentment, or fear of abandonment? Every complaint about another person is a blueprint that builds more separation. When you declare harmony with all good, you are calling forth divine love to express through every interaction. Shin taught the importance of blessing others and seeing the Christ within them. Affirm. Infinite love flows through me and through everyone in my life. All relationships are divinely harmonious under grace. Watch as old tensions dissolve, as the right people are drawn to you, and as those already in your life begin to mirror your elevated consciousness. The construction crew does not take sides. It simply builds, according to the plans. Give it plans of love, forgiveness, and mutual support, and beautiful new rooms of connection will be added to your house. Your life purpose and creative expression also come under this same law. Many wander through their days feeling lost because their blueprints contain notes of limitation. I don't know what I'm here to do. It's too late for my dreams. No one will value my gifts. Declare instead that you are in harmony with infinite abundance, which includes the perfect unfoldment of your unique divine idea. My purpose flows to me now, under grace, in miraculous ways. Ideas will come, opportunities will knock. The courage and resources needed will appear. Shin's students often found their perfect work by releasing personal will and affirming divine right action. One woman who felt stuck in an unfulfilling job began her hourly declarations and was soon guided to start a small business that brought both joy and prosperity. The crew had been waiting for the new instructions. Throughout all these areas, doubts may arise. This is part of the process. The old grooves in the subconscious are deep. When fear knocks, do not invite it in for conversation. Simply return to your declaration. Speak it aloud with feeling. Walk around your current space if you can, and proclaim the new reality as already established. Shin recommended acting as though it were so. Wear the clothes, make the plans, speak the words of the person living in the new house. This impresses the subconscious even more powerfully because imagination and feeling are the language it understands best. The hourly practice is your anchor in this journey. It is not burdensome. It is liberating. A gentle chime becomes a loving reminder from your higher self. In traffic, at your desk, while preparing a meal wherever you are, you can pause, breathe, and realign. Over days and weeks, this consistent realignment reprograms your entire energy field. You begin to vibrate at the frequency of abundance, harmony, and grace. And because like attracts like, the outer world must reorganize to match your new inner song. You will also notice that as you speak these words, your casual conversation changes. You complain less. You bless more. You see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. This is the evidence that the new blueprint is being accepted. The construction crew is no longer confused. It is working with enthusiasm on the grand design. Remember the words of Florence Scovel Shinn. Man's word is his wand, filled with magic and power. You are learning to wield that wand consciously. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, but the deliberate creator of your experience. The house you build will not only shelter you, it will radiate light to everyone who enters it. Your transformation becomes a living testimony to the power of the spoken word. The invisible work continues even as you sleep. The subconscious never rests. While your conscious mind restores the body, the crew keeps building, according to the last clear impressions you gave it before rest. End your day with the declaration. Begin your morning with it. Let it be the frame around every hour. As these truths sink deeper into your being, you may feel a quiet excitement rising. The old crooked house is being renovated from within. New light is breaking through. Fresh air is circulating. The foundation is strengthening. You are becoming the master architect who designs with love, precision, and unwavering faith in the divine pattern. As the weeks turn into months of faithful practice, the transformation moves from subtle inner shifts to undeniable outer demonstrations. The house you once wandered through with unease is now revealing its new form. Rooms that felt cramped and dark are expanding with light and space. The drafts of worry have been sealed by the warm currents of trust. Foundations that once felt shaky now stand firm upon the rock of spiritual understanding. This is the natural result of consistent, loving blueprints delivered hour after hour to your faithful construction crew. Florence Scovel Shinn witnessed this exact process in the lives of countless students who dared to take their words seriously. She taught that persistence in the right direction always brings victory, for the law cannot fail any more than the seed can refuse to grow when planted in fertile ground. Let us explore what this long-term mastery looks like. At first, the hourly declaration may feel like a conscious effort. You set your reminders, pause amid busy moments, and speak the words with as much feeling as you can muster. Some hours the conviction flows easily, other hours old thoughts try to intrude. This is expected. The old blueprint is being dismantled, and the subconscious crew is clearing away debris while simultaneously building anew. Do not judge yourself in these moments. Simply return to the declaration, I am in perfect harmony with infinite abundance, and all good things flow to me now, under grace, in miraculous ways. Speak it softly or boldly, whispered or proclaimed, whatever matches the moment. The important thing is the repetition with faith. Shinn often shared stories of those who faced seemingly impossible conditions yet triumphed through their spoken word. One woman had been estranged from family for years, carrying deep resentment that poisoned her own peace. Following Shinn's guidance, she stopped speaking of the injustice and began declaring divine love and perfect harmony in all her relationships. She affirmed that infinite abundance included the abundance of forgiveness and right relations. Within months, a letter arrived unexpectedly, leading to a healing conversation that restored not only the relationship but brought new blessings into her life. The construction crew had been given new plans of love, and it rebuilt those connections with divine precision. Another student struggled with a chronic health challenge that doctors said would only worsen. Instead of accepting the prognosis as final, she declared her body as the perfect temple of divine life. She spoke of infinite abundance flowing as perfect health, energy, and regeneration in every cell. She refused to rehearse symptoms or limitations in her conversation. Slowly at first, then with increasing speed, her body responded. Strength returned, pain diminished, and vitality blossomed. The crew had simply followed the new blueprint, reorganizing matter according to the higher pattern. These stories are not exceptions. They are the rule, when the word is spoken with conviction and persistence. Your life will provide its own perfect examples. Perhaps a debt that has lingered for years begins to dissolve through unexpected income or creative solutions. A relationship that felt cold warms and deepens. An idea for purposeful work arrives in a moment of quiet alignment. Opportunities multiply. Synchronicities become commonplace. You begin to live in a state of quiet wonder, recognizing that the universe is conspiring on your behalf because your signal is now clear and consistent. The true beauty of this practice is how it reshapes not only your external conditions, but your very character. You become less reactive to circumstances. When challenges arise, and they will, for life continues to offer contrast for growth, you have your sacred pause. The hourly chime becomes an inner alarm that gently redirects your attention from the problem back to the principle. Instead of spiraling into fear or complaint, you declare the truth. This builds unshakable inner stability. You stand firm, like the master architect surveying the site, knowing that temporary appearances do not alter the finished design held in divine mind. As this stability deepens, your words outside the formal practice also transform. Casual conversation becomes infused with positivity and faith. You speak blessings rather than burdens. You celebrate small signs of progress. You encourage others not with false cheer but with the quiet authority of one who knows the law. In this way, your influence ripples outward. Family members notice the change in you. Friends seek your counsel. Strangers are drawn to your light. You become a walking demonstration that words create worlds. Shinn emphasized that as we lift our own consciousness, we automatically help lift the collective. Your new house stands as a beacon on the hill, inspiring others to examine their own blueprints. It is also important to address the times when manifestation seems delayed, or when old conditions temporarily intensify. This is often the final resistance of the old pattern before it fully dissolves, like the last stubborn bricks being removed before the new structure rises. Do not interpret this as failure. Interpret it as evidence that powerful work is underway. Double down on your declaration during these periods. Add feeling. Walk through your current space and proclaim the new reality as already established. Thank the divine in advance for the perfect outworking. Gratitude is a powerful accelerator because it aligns you with the frequency of abundance even before the visible proof arrives. Shinn taught the importance of non-resistance and non-attachment to specific forms. Declare the essence, harmony, abundance, joy, peace, and let the divine choose the perfect channels and timing. When you release the how, you remove limitations and open the way for miracles. The construction crew, no longer constrained by your human outlines, can draw from the infinite storehouse in ways far more magnificent than you could plan. Over time, the practice becomes effortless. The hourly reminders may still sound, but your soul begins prompting you naturally. You find yourself speaking the words while driving, cooking, or resting. It becomes the background music of your life, a constant tuning fork, aligning every thought, word, and action with divine order. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative because you end each day in alignment. Mornings dawn with fresh expectancy because you begin with the word. Imagine now the completed house. You stand at the threshold of this new home you have consciously built. Sunlight streams through expansive windows. Every room reflects beauty, purpose, and comfort. The kitchen overflows with the abundance of nourishing food and joyful gatherings. The living areas pulse with harmonious relationships and creative flow. The bedroom restores you in perfect peace. The entire structure vibrates with the energy of grace. This is not a distant dream. It is the inevitable result of your faithful blueprints. The old crooked house has been transformed, or in some cases, an entirely new mansion has risen in its place. You have remembered who you are, the conscious architect, the beloved child of infinite intelligence, the one through whom divine ideas express with ease. The power was never outside you. It was always within the words you chose to speak. Florence Scovel Shinn left us a timeless legacy by showing that the game of life can be won through spiritual understanding and the right use of the spoken word. You are now carrying that legacy forward in your own unique way. As we come to the close of this sharing, I invite you to make a deeper commitment. From this moment forward, choose the clear, powerful, loving design of your highest self. Set those hourly reminders if you have not already. Speak the master declaration with renewed conviction. I am in perfect harmony with infinite abundance, and all good things flow to me now under grace in miraculous ways. Speak the supporting words as well. Every hour brings perfect opportunities aligned with my highest good. Divine intelligence works perfectly through me. I am a divine idea in the mind of God, and I now manifest the perfect blueprint of my life. Carry this knowing in your heart. The construction crew is ever ready. The universe is ever responsive. Your words are the sacred wand. Use them wisely. Use them lovingly. Use them consistently. And watch your entire reality reshape into a true and beautiful home for your soul. You were never meant to live in limitation. You were born to create, to express, to enjoy the full spectrum of divine good. The choice has always been yours. Today, and every day henceforth, choose the blueprint of abundance, harmony, and grace. Speak it, feel it, live it. The house of your dreams is not being built somewhere far away. It is rising around you right now, moment by moment, word by word. And so it is.